Hello and welcome back to Everquest Guide. So today I want to talk about augmentations, and I left them out of my my gearing 1 to 115 guide, and I left them out for a reason. Augmentations are just not. I can't. I tried putting slides together, and I could literally list like the best in slot, but it's subjective. Augs are very subjective, in my opinion. You know, it depends on what stat you want. Do you want heroic dexterity? Do you want heroic stamina? You know, you're kind of invested in that. In picking one of those. So, with that, I just wanted to kind of go over some Augs and show the best way to do this. So, I'm currently on my Necromancer Gnome Regard, and for him, I believe heroic stamina is the best way to go, with heroic intelligence being the secondary that you would want to go for. For my Shadow Knight, I go for heroic dexterity and AC, and then everything else just lines up. So it is interesting. Now, so if we take a look at some some items here. So this is a COV tier 1 quest, or not quest, dropped chest place for group. See, here is a TOV tier 1 belt and a TOV tier 1 cloak. And you can see like they have different slots, right? So the belt and the cloak have a tier type 3, but they also have a type 5 and a type 7. The robe, on the other hand, has a 5, a 7, and a 13. And you're like, a 13? So if you don't know, 13s go from these items right here. These are the only 13s I've seen. There might be raid versions, there might be other versions, but this is what I've found, and this is what I've used. So the type 13 goes to this purity stat here, and the purity stat is directly tied to the power source that you have. So the more purity you have, the higher the stats on this thing will go. So if we take this blue one and we pop it in my robe here, so we have 75. So it's 5, 75, 20s. So everything's like 75, right? We pop that in there. We close that, and it should get better, but it didn't. There might be a threshold or something. I noticed it on a different character when I put these items in there like that. It would increase the stats. Let's try this one. Maybe this one will do it. I'm not exactly 100% sure how this works, but it seemed maybe it affects the actual armor piece. But somehow the purity stat affects the power source, and it all links together. So these are the only ones I've ever seen. The Stones of Tranquility are pretty common in the Gribble quests. I get them all the time. I get a few random ones every here and then. These ones also. They're a lot more rare though. So, but they go in that slot, and they just increase the purity on the item. Obviously, I don't know what it's changing at the moment. I thought it increased the stats on the power source. Maybe I just have a different power source on my other character, but yeah, but that's the link there. So that's that. So let's see here. So type 5 Augs are the they originally started in the TBM expansion, and they started carrying those throughout all the rest of these expansions. I'm trying to find the group vendor here. I think it's this guy. No. Where is it? Oh, no. I have to go to Crystal Caverns for that. We'll go there here in a second, but let's just skip. Sorry about this. This is unscripted, and I didn't really think about it too much beforehand. So, type 3. So type 3s come from these guys right here. These are the only type 3s I've been able to find. There might be more, but this is what I've been able to find. And each of these is a focus item for your sort by cost for different spells. Each class has their own different ones, and they all go into the rings, the cloak, the belt, I believe the earrings. Yeah, earrings, face, everything but the main armor slots has a type 3 slot. And there's a number of these different type 3 Augs. And so I'm a level 110, so I can't actually use any of these right now. But when I can come here and buy, like this one, the Oblivion Shard. It adds 1400 damage to my Oblivion spell, or which would be the next upgrade to Inevitable End, if I'm not mistaken. And then Pyre of the Wretched here. This one adds 2000 damage. So I'm assuming that's 2000 damage per tick, but I could be wrong. And you just change. You can change these out. I believe there's more options than you have slots, right? So you have you can put it on the shield too. So that's an option, shield and the range. So you can buy, these, and they're all 26,000 platinum each. If there is a vendor for the COV expansion, I could not find him. It's not at the same location as the stat Augs. So I don't know if there is another one. I don't know where it's at. If somebody could tell me. When I looked on the website I'm about to show to find other Augs, I couldn't find anything but these ones. So yeah, so these are just different upgrades for your spells that you can put in all your other slots, and definitely that's something you should be doing. They are pricey, very pricey, but I believe you can. I don't see a tribute value on them, so yeah, you can't tribute them when you're done with them later on. So you're pretty much throwing away a few 100,000 platinum there. All right, so I'm gonna run over to Crystal Caverns real quick, and then we can. I'll show you the Type 5s for this expansion. All right, we're at Sandra Gemhart, and she sells the Type 5s for this expansion. Let's see here. This is the TOV ones. There's COV ones in Western Waste you can pick up that are 80 max instead of 70. This is just where I'm at right now, so I can actually buy them now. I just don't have any Froststone Decats. That comes from doing the group missions. You get like 30 or 40 per mission, and you can do those missions every 6 hours. And you can see here these stats are pretty good. They're all, pretty balanced. I mean, you get one high stat, so 70. Agility and everything else is around 30-ish. I'm going for stamina, so that one's a complete balanced one. That's intelligence, topaz maybe. Yeah, here we go. So I would be buying these, or the actual one from COV. Probably is what I would do, but I would probably kind of tier it up, right? Because you're not going to straight be able to go in to do COV stuff. You have to kind of still do the progression. So, getting a few of these is worth the effort at times. And then there's also a bag that is sold here, a 40 slot bag for 750 tokens. And I believe, so for the COV ones, they drop in the world. I don't think I've seen any of these drop in the world yet. From any of the names I've killed with my other characters, so that you might have to buy them from here. So that's a thing. But so that's the type 5s. So Type 5s are just multi-stat heroic stats. That's it. Type 7 is where the variety kind of comes in, and this is like why pretty much I couldn't make PowerPoint slides on this. So this is RaidLoot.com. I have no affiliation with the site. Is recommended to me in my early multi-boxing videos by Mr. Kavit. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but he's mentioned it, and a lot of other people have mentioned it. And you can kind of see here, it lets you search for different necromancer search. There we go. Different augs and stuff like that. You can kind of see, you know, there's this aug here from trade skills. You know, that one gives 90 stamina. So, you know, that's, you know, an option. So what you'd want to do is you'd set this to type 7 group source. I'm going to sort it by hit points, for example. So the best aug in the, you know, the game right now is the Artisan's Prize, and that's kind of what my goal has been working towards, doing all the trade skills stuff that I've been doing. So to get this aug is 300 AC, 3,000 hit points, then 150 everything else. It's best in slot for your ring slot charm. So, you know, great item. Then you start looking at all these other ones, and you can kind of see they're all from different locations, and you know, most of these I believe you can solo them as a necromancer, but you know, some of them are harder. So like this one here might be soloable, might not be, but you know, it's 65 AC. It's a great, I think I have this on my Shadow Knight, and it's a fairly good tanky one because of the AC. But it has lots of hit points, mana regen, and stuff like that. So it's, you know, definitely something you'd want to get. But, you know, there's lots of them. There's 20, I think 21 slots you can put these different augs in. So, you know, you kind of have to mix and match. And you might not be able to kill them. So you might have to go back here to, say, Gorowin, for example, and grab this Earth Love, you know, and have that fill in a slot until you get a better one. Someone on the Red Guide forums always mentions that Everquest is a game of inches, and every little bit helps, and that is a true statement. I think Sick said that, and that is very true. Every single little upgrade I've done on my other characters has phenomenally helped in the progression of those characters, and you know, you might not, you know, see like 82 AC on this aug here, you know, that's it's a little bit of a game changer. You know, if you're taking a lot of damage on your, you know, tanking class, you know, it helps a lot. So it's hard for me to recommend. Like I don't even know if heroic stamina is the best for a necromancer. It might be heroic intelligence. I've been looking at Megalo. It's a different website at the you know, the highest ranked, highest geared necromancers, and they all have heroic stamina. So it seems to be the their Almar's Guides recommends heroic stamina for all casters except I think Wizard, and that was intelligence. Tanks are all heroic dexterity for group tanks. Agility, I think, for raid tanks. And then progression tanks, heroic stamina for the extra hit points, but I could be wrong on that. I don't raid on a tank, and I only do it in a group. And I've been doing pure dex on my Shadow Knight. And for the priest class, shaman is heroic stamina, the extra hit points for the cannibalize and stuff like that. I think the same as with clerics, probably stamina on all of them too. I don't know any better. So if somebody has like a, you know, like a definite, you know, you should probably do this, do that kind of thing, definitely worth trying. Something if I was on like test server or something, I might try parsing, you know, full intelligence versus stamina, and see if there's any kind of difference damage wise. But probably not even worth the effort. I'm going stamina because I'm lazy and I like to do blood magic and life burn all the time, and so I like having the extra hit points. I don't know how much it's going to add overall. It should be at least 10,000, maybe more. Stacking heroic stamina with the gear and stuff like that for a necromancer. But this site here is phenomenal for finding that stuff. Like if you Shadow Knight and you sort by armor class, type 7 like that, and you just sort like that, you can see all the different augs and stuff like that and where they come from. So like this one right here. Fleshlocks, Gem of Fleshlack, drops from Guy in Temple of Ishan tier 2 mission drops. So I actually got this one from Zandaklar, I believe. Yeah, I got that one from Zandaklar. So there's always an alternative way to get a lot of these gems. So let me see if I can find... let me see here. If I do heroic stamina search, and which one is it? It's like... Oh, I'm type 5. So this is the type 5 heroic stamina, the chunk of glowing health. Now this is the one you would buy in Temple, or not Temple, Western Waste with the COV stuff. It's 80 per. And this one, I believe it'll also, so you can buy it here, but it also drops off this guy right here. So I didn't know that at first, and I was like farming these missions, just like going over and over and over, farming, and then I was like, oh man, it's gonna take forever because you're only getting like 20 to 30 maybe per, I don't know the exact number, marks per mission, right? And it just takes a while to get enough tokens to buy because it's 500 each, and you need like 21 of them, give or take. I can't remember the exact number. So you're gonna spend a lot of time, but they also drop, so you can go camp this guy right here. I don't think I've ever seen this guy, but let's see, all 6 Freedies are the placeholders. So there's I guess a place up in the northern part where he drops, so you can go. He does Kazakh touch. Really? Ouch. Was that 1,000,000? That's 1,000,000 damage, Jesus. So he death touches. I don't have 1,000,000 hit points on my Shadow Knight. But yeah, so this is a definite way to, find and go through. And if you're doing like, so you're your Shadow Knight or your Warrior or whatever, and you're looking for AC, because that, to me, that's the best type 7. I could be wrong, but I always go for the highest AC on all my Augs just to get to that cap of armor, and I've noticed that helps so much. It's like night and day. Like I tried tanking Zandakar in just the COV tier 3 without Augs and with Augs, and it was like night and day. So it makes a pretty good difference at the group level. The raid level's something different. I have no idea, but let me see if I can. There we go. Sheets. So on Red Guides, if you have a membership, there's a guy who made these. Yeah, so this guy made these gear matrices of all the different classes and like the best in slot gear. They're all Google documents. I don't know if they're private or public or whatever, but this is like some of the best information I could find. And it didn't until I found this, I wasn't sure, what was the best in slot to do. I was looking at RaidLoot, going, what am I gonna do? What I gotta get? And this is it right here. This is like, here's like, this is for Shadow Knight, Warrior, and a Paladin, right? The tank. These are all tank Augs, and that's outside of Gnome Guard. That's what I focus on is my Shadow Knight. And you're gonna get these. These are the heroic dex Augs, and then that's another high heroic dex. It's 85, and then the crafted one is 90. So you're getting quite a bit of heroic dex there. And then these are all the Augs in I think AC, sorted AC or AC value, the highest one. So the highest is 100, and it goes, the lowest AC looks like to be 65. Yeah, so 65 being the lowest AC, and there's a few crafted gems in there. So for the crafted ones, you need the restless ore from the missions and stuff like that. And I believe there's raid versions of these crafted items too. So there's even better than that. And then it's full craft is pretty much best in slot for the group level tank. So that's, and this is available on Red Guides if you have access to that. But I haven't found anything else like this outside of that community for being able to just look at everything and put it all together to find what I need to be farming for. Like you can look, you kind of gives you the same kind of concept, right? So this gem right here is on there, so they're almost in order, right? Except the secret gem of security, where I don't even see that one on here. Yeah, here it is. So they're just, however that guy put this together. But it's a lot of the same ones sorted by AC, all the way down here to the 65, which was this one right here. So I think it's pretty much all the ones above here, give or take. I'm sure it's, selecting the ones with the best stats. Like you'd probably want to go with the fragment of ethereal steel over another one, and these are all, some of these go all the way back to Ring of Scale for farming, and stuff like that. Like I haven't done anything in TBL, so that's something to go farm. The Carnarch of Sand, I've never heard of this guy. But he's in Burning Lands, so that's a reason to go there and do that. A reason I've never been to Gorowin either. Reason to go kill this guy is to go get this 70 AC Aug, because it's phenomenal and it's still useful all the way back that far. And he uses the conflagrant in his list here. So conflagrant comes from it's the conflagrant armor. It's crafted, I believe it's pottery. I can't remember. It's pottery or research. The two that I don't have maxed out yet is kind of the. So as I'm kind of long-winded here, but the gist of it is use RaidLoot to find gems, or the different augs and stuff you want to use. Like for example, I'm a necromancer. I need a type 7 for my shield. What are my options, right? I need augmentation. So the options are almost a little, there's options, right? I can do that. I can get this item, get this, pop it in there, and I'm good to go. So, that's the best. But, I can't solo this guy. The anniversary quest's not available. But I do have my jewel crafting, or I think this one's research. I do have, I can get my research up. I can make this item. It's just a matter of finding what's good for you. Putting all this in a spreadsheet, or not a spreadsheet, but a PowerPoint slide, and trying to do that when it's all custom, kind of like how this spreadsheet is, right? This is very specific to a warrior, and I would say it's even more specific to the guy who made this, is because he's got a raid charm, a raid aug on there. I don't know where that raid, I don't know anything about that. So he's got the same one there, and then there's some more that you can go get in, different ones. And it goes through Bard, Berserkers. I think I added Rogue on there because I have a Rogue. And then Shaman. I do the same stuff for the Shaman and I do that on my Druid. Don't know if it matters. Druids suck, so I don't know. But yeah, you just, that's the best way to do it, I think. If there's better options and stuff like that. I find doing the missions, if you can multi-box the missions or get a group to do the missions, a lot of these augs just drop there, and they're all lore, so it's, I don't think you contribute the augs either. So if you're going with a group that already has a lot of the stuff, you can easily probably get get something. And then when the anniversary quests come back, you want to definitely do the anniversary Augs and all those quests. But I was like level 50 or so when all the anniversary stuff came out this year. So hopefully next year I'll be 120 and I can do that because it looks like the expansion will be coming out this Christmas. But yeah, I think that's everything I want to say about the Augs. The Type 3 were what I didn't realize about until recently. I didn't even notice them until I looked at that vendor again in the Eastern Wastes to be like, oh, huh, I should probably buy all of these because I'm losing a lot of damage and other effects. So yeah, I think that's everything AUG related. If there's any questions or if I said something wrong, and please correct me so that I can correct myself. And if I'm wrong, tell me. I'll pin the comment and or take the video down if I'm terribly wrong. But I'm doing all this already on my other characters, and this is gonna be my path for Nomergard here. So yeah. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.